Oh, you seem to have caught me falling. Well, welcome to part 2 of 5,000 days. Oh, that would have been cool. 2 years ago, Cookie made a giant Christmas tree in his hardcore world. So in today's video, I'm also going to build a giant Christmas tree, but it's going to be much, much bigger and better than his was. First things first, I need to gather a load of spruce logs and leaves. Also, I put a Santa hat on myself. Look at it. I'm in the Christmas spirit. Luckily, I've got a tree farm, so all I actually need is a load of saplings. So that should make this process a bit easier. That's not going to be enough leaves, I don't think, but it'll do for now. Now, I think I've got to flick some levers because this is set up for jungle, but I'm going to have to remind myself quickly. Okay, so this needs to be on, and that needs to be a dot, and now I need bone meal. Alright, so now let's find out if this still works, shall we? Turn that on, that on. Cool, and now F3 and T to do AFK. Well, I'm just going to stay here for ages now. Alright, that should be more than enough. Yeah, we've got a full double chest plus some extra. So let me just get these into a shulker box. I think 2 shulker boxes full should be enough, actually. I'll probably need some more leaves though, so I might just go fill this shulker box. If I have 1 shulker box of leaves, I'm hoping that's enough to cover it, but now I think about it, it probably won't be, depending on how tall I build it. I'd rather have too many. I'm going to fill this shulker box up. Let me get unbreaking on these so they last a bit longer. See, this is where these guys come in super useful. And now I've got 3 of those. Let's go back to the tiger biome and get some more leaves. And now to get a load more leaves. There's a full shulker. I'm probably not going to use all of these logs now that I think about it. Otherwise, I definitely don't have enough leaves. Oh, you know what? Let's just get another full shulker of leaves. Screw it. Right, and that's another shulker box. So we've got 2 of each now. Now, I just need to figure out where I want to put this giant tree. I'm kind of thinking in this area because this looks very empty. And like, that's all desert. Literally everything around me is just desert. And I feel like I don't know. I think I'd rather cover this water area and put the tree here. I don't know yet what I want the floor to be, so for now I'm going to turn all of these just into wood, just so it's a lot easier to place, because then it doesn't really matter what angle I kind of put them. And then I'll leave this as just logs in case I do want to use them. And I think I'm going to make it central to these builds just so that it looks, well, central. So if that's the middle, and now just go all the way up. That's 100 blocks tall. Yeah, I think that works. And now I just need to do thicker and then going into thin. So I think I'm just going to build up these sides as the thicker part of the trunk. So I think that sort of thing will work. Now I just need to add all of the branches in. So I'm going to use my amazing parkour skills to drop down. There we go. Yeah, I think that's about right. And now to do a branch. And I just have to do a similar thing all around the bottom and going all the way up to the top and making sure they get smaller and smaller. And then cover them with leaves, put some decorations, and the tree will be done. And wow, I also have to sort out the bottom, but I'll save that for a future day. For now, let me get the rest of these branches in. Christmas is just around the corner, coming up just around the bend. Alright, so it looks stupid right now, but I think those branches work. I just need to get leaves in, and then hopefully it'll actually kind of come together. I did have to go and collect more wood, and seeing as there's going to be more leaves than wood, I don't think 2 shulker boxes are going to be enough. But I'm going to start with the placing and see how it goes. Basically, the entire thing needs to be covered in leaves, kind of like this. I'm just going to do 1 branch, see how it looks, and then kind of use that to help me do the other ones. Like, do I want to cover the wood completely? Because if so, this is going to use a lot of leaves. How does that look? Okay, yeah, I'm going to need I'm gonna need a ton.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting.
So that's pretty much all the leaves on the tree. I don't know if I need to make it more full. I need to do some bits underneath, so I'm going to get some scaffolding to do that. I don't know if that looks too empty. I think it looks a little bit empty up here, but at the same time, trees kind of look like that anyway. But there's just something not right. It just looks too empty. I don't know if the baubles and stuff will make it look better, but well, let me just finish off placing these leaves, and then I'll figure it out. So I spent a lot of time just thickening up the tree a little bit, like in the center, and basically just adding more leaves everywhere and filling in the undersides of these branches. But I think it still looks a tad weird. It just doesn't look like a Christmas tree. And I think I actually need more branches. There's too many open spaces. And when you actually look at one of these types of trees, their branches aren't just singular branches. Their branches is like one main branch, and then it has loads of other thin bits coming off towards the end of the main branch. So I'm going to try just adding those in with just leaves and not the wood to be kind of like this. They just have like thin parts that just kind of do this. Yeah, I don't like it, so I think I'm gonna change my tactic slightly. I'm gonna test something in my creative world. Okay, I'm back, and I'm depressed because I've changed my mind for a Christmas tree. I made one in creative, and it looks a load better than this one does. So I'm gonna take all of this down, and this took me ages to build. See, this is why I should start planning things before I build them in my world. So just enjoy this time lapse, I suppose. Right, and now that's been demolished, I can get started on this new design. So this new design is very, very tall. I can't tell if that's taller or the same height as the old one, but I now have to just fill this all the way up to the top. Right, and now that the trunk is in, which we're not going to see anyway, but I'm just going to put it there anyway, just so that in my head, I know that it makes sense that this tree is standing up 100%. And now I just need to put these leaves in, which come out that far. And now I believe I did 10, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then in 4, in 3, in 2, in 2. And now I've got to do the exact same thing on the other side. And now I just need to fill all of this in. Now that's all done with nary a mistake. Yep. Nary. And now I just need to go central and go up 4. And then go in 1 and go up 4 again. And just repeat this process until I get to the top. And now I'm going to do the same thing on all the other sides. Now this next part, it took me ages, and I'm talking hours, to figure out the right pattern to make this work. So I am going to use Lightmatica to help me, because I'm not going to remember for the life of me what I actually did. If for whatever reason you want to make this Christmas tree in your own world and have it be this tool, then let me know and I'll put the download in the description. Next up are the decorations, and as well as wool for the tinsel, I also need a load of gold, sea lanterns, and also redstone. So now I've got all the things that I need for the decoration. It's time to start decorating. The reason I've got different colored trapdoors is because I actually found that these 2 trapdoors are the nicest looking for like bulbul type things, because with this one, with the mangrove, if I do that, there's the hole in the middle, and then bamboo also has gaps, and also it's kind of like yellowish and then reddish, so it goes in with the rest of, you know, this, you know, the other bulbils and the wool that I'm going to use for tinsel. So basically now I just have to go around this entire tree, the entire thing, I missed a bit, and and decorate it. So I then spent a while placing down all of the ornaments, so the mix of the gold blocks, the redstone blocks, lanterns with the trapdoors on it, and honestly this was just random placement. I just placed it wherever and whenever. I tried to kind of interchange the bamboo trapdoors with the mangrove trapdoors, so I had a mix of color. And then once that was done, I moved on to making these presents, different sizes, different shapes, you know, mix things up. I don't know whose presents they are yet, but I made presents. And then lastly, I had to do the star, so I decided to go with building like a pixel art of the Nether star, and I actually think this turned out quite cool as well. Now we just have one last block to place in, and that's the Nether star done. Now the last thing that I need to do is the floor, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. I think I might just get a load of red wool and maybe yellow wool as well, just because those two are quite easy to gather, and I might just fill it in, I think, similar to what Cookie God did. Let's see how far this lot gets me. I went the wrong way. So I think I'm just going to leave like a 2-block gap. So if I have it coming all the way out here, kind of like that outline, and then fill all the rest of it with red wool, which means I'm going to need a lot more red wool. I think actually I'm going to use carpets, because I can get a lot more out of it, and they can go on top of water. Kind of more of a pain in the ass to place, but plus I don't think mobs can spawn on carpet. Well, now that all of the red carpet is in, it's time for me to line the outside with something yellow, and I'm going to see how much gold I have access to, and then I can do it in gold blocks, or I'm just going to do it in like yellow concrete or wool or something. Well, I've got access to a lot of gold nuggets, so I guess I'll just see how many blocks this makes. And oh, a lot of gold nuggets. Okay, should be enough. Right, well, gold blocks it is. I'm hoping this is enough gold. I've got plenty. So now I've just got to fill in all the outside. Well, this bit's annoying me. Well, that's the gold, but I don't like how it's floating. I think I'm actually going to put a couple more presents in the empty spaces. Let me just do that real quick. So I've decided what I'm going to do to make this platform look like it's not just floating, and it's going to take some red and white concrete. I had the idea to just add like candy canes in each of the corners to make it look like the candy canes are actually holding it up. So if I just get rid of these four, and I kind of do something like this, and then fill the gaps with the white, something kind of like that. So obviously that's just the top of the candy cane, but from the outside it's connecting it to the floor. So now I just have to do 4 more of those. I might make the ones that are over here a little bit taller, or just the exact same, kind of like that. So we got 4 candy canes now, kind of acting as the anchors. I think that works. And that is my giant Christmas tree with all the presents and the candy canes and everything. Plus it looks quite good in the dark. Let me know what you think. Subscribe. Merry Christmas! Another video for you. There's going to be 2 this week. In the last video, I built this giant tree with these giant presents, and in this video, I'm going to recreate the Santa sleigh from Red 1. Red 1 was the biggest Christmas film released this year, which is why I'm going to recreate it, because I'm hoping it will help get views. And as a Christmas present for me, why don't you subscribe? Help me get to 10,000 in the next, week. Thanks. Let's get some materials then, shall we? First things first, I'm going to need some brown concrete powder, as well as some black concrete powder. I think that should be enough. I also need a load of redstone, which I don't have enough of, but I should have enough gold. Yep, I've got more than enough gold left over from last time. I only need 40 of them. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm going to need to get some more redstone. Yeah, 33 is definitely not going to be enough. Let me get some shulker boxes then to put all this stuff in. Let's go duplicate these concrete powder bits, shall we? Right, so I need quite a bit of brown. Actually, I need a load of brown, so I'm going to put the majority of this to be brown concrete. Oh wait, I also need a light grey. I need to go get some light grey. I think there should actually be some light grey in here. Yep, down here. Grey, light grey, light grey. Cool. Let's just head back, and I did not set my spawn. Cool. Alright, set the spawn. Nice. And now let's throw in some of the light grey here. Let's turn that on and head in. Nice. Right, let's use this OP farm again. Now let's head over to my witch farm. And just stay here AFK for a bit. Okay, I've got a lot more redstone in here than I thought from the last time I AFK'd. Yeah, that's going to be plenty. Cool. I'm also going to need 8 bits of black carpet, and I need 10 white, so I'm going to have to make a couple more of those. I've got plenty of red dye, but I'm also going to take the black and the white dye for the light grey wool. I did stay AFK for a bit at my wool farm, so I've got plenty of that. So let me just turn all of this into dyed wool. Okay, so now I need some light grey dye to turn that into... Oh, wait. I need a light grey. Wait, can I re-dye dyed wool? Ah, yes, I can. Cool. Well, that's the light grey wool. Now I need just 3 pieces of cactus for green dye. I do need 60 bits of black wool as well. Let's get you in there. Right, and now I need some yellow dyes also. So I'll just go to my little sunflower forest and get some of those. Oh, yoink. And there's the yellow wool and also the green wool. Cool. What? What are you doing here? I swear I put my mob switch on. Go away. Go away. Oh, I said get lost. Right, actually, let's take some of the lapis, because I need that for blue dye. Just like that. And just turn this into blue wool. And now I also need some white terracotta. Just like that. Nice. I also need glass. I don't have glass, but I should have some. Yep, we've got plenty of sand. Cool. Let's throw this in here. Whilst that's smelting, let's get some iron, because I need like 16 chains. So let's just turn all of you into nuggets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Cool. I also need 2 anvils. So let's just do that real quick. Only a few things left, one of which is grindstones, which, yep, I've got plenty left over from when I changed my gold farm. I also need some birch fences, 5 of them, which is perfect. And that's all the glass. Cool. Right, let's go get the concrete sorted. I need a ton of brown, yellow, light grey, black, and finally red concrete. And I want to put Santa Claus just above my Christmas tree, so if he's at that height, would that look alright? I think that's high enough. Oh, I'm about to be attacked. Get lost. And now if I come across for the sleigh, because I want his ring, I want this to be like the center, so his reindeer are going to be like starting in this area, which means his sleigh has to be over here somewhere. So if I start his sleigh here, so this is where I'm going to need a load of the red. How far out do I want to come? Yeah, I think that's more than long enough, but I want to double this up, because otherwise I think it will look weird if it's just like one thin line. Cool. And then the sleigh, or whatever you want to call this part of the sleigh, kind of comes up like this, and then curves at the top, so like that. And then obviously the same on the other side. And where it's connecting to the actual sleigh bit, probably about here, like so. Cool. And I'll just repeat that on the opposite side. So then the bottom of the sleigh can start like here. And in red 1, there's Santa, like, you know, the sleigh isn't a normal sort of shape. It's kind of almost like a bullet train sort of thing. So if this bit goes here, then it's going to kind of wrap around like that, with like a point at the end. So this is the first starting point, and then it will kind of, you know, go in like this. So then if I make this bottom bit go all the way across, but not all the way to the end, because it also has a bit sticking out the back. So this bottom part where Santa actually stands isn't going to be as long as the entire thing. So about here for the bottom part, because again, it's also going to go wider on the sides. So this is going to be the very thinnest and shortest bit of it. So it can go up to there, and then come all the way across like that. And then I can just fill all of this in. This one actually has a hole in the middle, because if you've watched the film, he like jumps down the center bit, and then yeah, he kind of uses that to grapple down to the houses, which isn't accurate to real life, but it also does kind of make sense. So it's kind of like that, and then that's where the fences are going to go for the little railing bit from when he, you know, zip lines down. Right, so that's the base, and then obviously I need to repeat this on the other side. So wait, how far away was this? So it's like that. Like that, and then it goes up a layer, and we'll kind of basically just zigzagging up. Zigzagging is definitely a word that people use in the English language, 100%. And we'll go up again, and one more time, and then this layer is also the layer that we're going to go further back now. So now we're going to go all the way back to this point. And this version of the Santa sleigh has got like red bits kind of intertwined as like a pattern. So now we're on the main body of the sleigh. That's where we're going to start putting that stuff in. So that's what this bit is. This is where one of the sort of patterns starts. So that's the outside. And now all of these gaps I need to fill with red concrete, like that. It's basically like the footprint of the sleigh done. Oh, minus that bit. And then there is glass at the front of the sleigh. Obviously I can't make it look curved, so that's the best I can do. Now this thing is here, like that. So that's where he attaches his rope. And now I'm going to do the conveyor belt bit, because this Santa Claus is very different. He doesn't just have a sack, he also has like this mechanism with the elves and then spaceships and shit. So the big metal thing holding all the presents goes here, and it tips onto a conveyor belt that then goes into a sack that the elves help pack, that then give it to him. So the sack's going to be here with a conveyor belt, and then the big thingy-o-bob in this area. So this area needs to be covered, and I'm kind of decorating it just in the red, because it's not exactly identical to the film, but it's close enough. So it's like that, and then the conveyor belt is here, and to help make it look like a conveyor belt, I'm going to throw some black carpet on top, and I'm also going to use a mix of chains, anvils, and the grindstone to kind of make it actually look like it's doing something. So if I do this with the grindstone, no. So anvil there, grindstone, another one. And then these are kind of connecting it to the wall. That would have hurt. Kind of like that. And then if I have the Santa sack down here, so like the presents are falling into the Santa sack. So I need it to be open. Kind of like that. And then I can make presents look like they're falling in. So actually I need to make this longer. Actually, I think this needs to be one higher. Hold on, let me move this up. Okay, and then if I add some presents in, and to do a small version of the presents, I'm just gonna like throw carpet on top of it. So like this, for example. There you go, that's a present. And that's why I needed the different colors of wool. Actually, I can even make one look like it's falling. So if I do this, that's on its way in. So now we've got presents in the sack and on the conveyor belt going into the sack. Nice. Now I've just got to make this big, I don't even know what it is, this present sack thing. So first of all, let me finish this floor off like that. So now for this part, this is where I need the redstone and the gold blocks. I was actually going to do this entire thing in gold blocks and then realized how expensive that was going to be, so changed my mind. So I'm just going to have to do this sort of pattern. Just like that. Cool. We've got the little, the thing that all the presents go in. And then maybe I should have this open, actually. Maybe I should open that. And then I could put some more presents in there. But I'll do that after, because I can't remember how much wool I'm going to have left. But yeah, so that's where the presents come in. They fall onto the conveyor belt. They fall into the sack. And then Santa then jumps down here and delivers them. Cool. Right. Now I can move on to the reindeer. And I am going to use a schematic for this, because the reindeer are kind of awkward to make. So, the first reindeer is here, and I've made them running, which I think I did a decent job of, actually. So, the hoof, the front hoof there, and then this leg comes up like so. That's his back leg, actually, because then his front leg starts here. His body comes all the way across. Let's just fill this in. Cool, now his other legs are going to be kind of awkward to get to, so I might need some more temporary blocks. Let's do his other back leg. Alright, so now that's his legs, and I just have to build up the body. And then the front, they've got like this little billy goat type section, and we'll carry that on top as well. Like that. At the back, of course, he has the tail, just like that. And now we just need to do his head. And with that, we've got one reindeer done, prancing along. And now, I know the real Santa has got 9 reindeer, including Rudolph, and in the film he's got 8, but I'm not doing that many, because that was a very painstaking process. I did not expect it to be that annoying, but when you're building in the air, it's a pain in the ass. So I'm just going to do 5. Now that the reindeer are done with Rudolph at the front, I need to have something connecting them to the sleigh, because at the moment they're just kind of floating there. So I'm going to use all of this red wool to kind of create like just harnesses, essentially, that connect all the reindeers together heading back towards the sleigh. Kind of like that, and then I just need that going all the way back until they're all connected. Right, and now we have the reindeer connected. I think it helps kind of bring it all together and make it a bit more realistic, you know? Now, obviously, the last thing I'm missing is Santa Claus himself. Just like that, Santa is done. He looks a little bit thin, but if I didn't do that, it wouldn't fit. And just like that, I have recreated the red one Santa sleigh above my Christmas tree. He has like 3 less reindeer, but deal with it. Subscribe. I'm just going to cut straight to the point. This portal here is super boring, so I'm going to build a bigger one. First things first, I'm going to dig out some of this space, because this is just awkward to build in. Right, well that should be enough space. It doesn't look that big, but it kind of it's more tall than it is like wide. So now I've got those 4 shulker boxes plus these 5. 9 shulker boxes should be enough for what I have planned. Seeing as I've got already a few shulker boxes of sand, I'm going to see how much of the sandstone items I can get with just this. Okay, it didn't get me too far. I still need this full shulker box of chiseled, and then I need 31 sandstone walls. And by 31, I mean 31 stacks of sandstone walls. Luckily, I've still got some sand left in the duper. Actually, I probably should have bought a grindstone, to be honest with you, because this, yeah. Alright, now that I've got this grindstone, I can just stand here until I've got the remainder of the sandstone things. Well, that's the walls already, I believe. That's 26, 78, 29, 30, 31. Cool. Let's go back. Cool. Right, now all of that is going to have to be smelted. Whilst that's doing that, let me see how much deep slate I've got. I need 8 stacks of polished. I need 4 stacks of stairs. And then polished deep slate wall. Deep slate tiles I've already got a full shulker box of, so I just need an extra 4 stacks. Alright, that's the tiles. I also need tiled stairs. I only just didn't have enough cobble deep slate, so I just mined some normal deep slate to get what I needed. And now that's all of the deep slate stuff done. I really should build a super smelter, to be honest, because this is gonna take a while. Actually, I might get a couple going. Hold on, do I have... That seems a little bit more fair. Whilst those are doing their thing, let's see if I can get any more of the stuffs. So I need a lot of these. I don't need any slabs, annoyingly. I kind of wish I did, because that is frustratingly not enough. Do I happen to have... Oh, I do. I thought 9 shulker boxes were going to be enough. Apparently, it's not. Cool, that's all of the warped. I also need black stained panes, but this is not going to be... Nope. I think I know the answer to this question, but... Yeah, no. Same with wool. Can I re-dye dyed panes? I cannot. Can I dye... Oh, I can. Well, I might be able to do this then, actually. Actually, no, I probably can't. No, I'm going to take that back. Okay, sea lanterns. Do I happen to have... I do not have 9 stacks of sea lanterns. Yeah, no. Okay. And now I need the stairs and slabs, as well as the glass. And then I can go to my guardian farm and get a load of sea lanterns, and then I just have to go and hunt for amethyst shards to get more blocks of amethyst. And then the longest part, which is getting 7 stacks of obsidian. So now that I have all the materials I'm going to need for this build, I think we just need to get started. So here's what I'm thinking. I want to have like 2 pillars either side of a giant portal that's going to be sat in the middle. And then a little bit further forward, there's going to be 2 more pillars going all the way up with the roof covering the whole thing, the stairway leading to the portal itself. And I think when it's done, it'll actually look quite cool. Okay. I apologize for him. So, right, this first bit that I'm doing, there's going to be 1 here and 1 there. And it's kind of going to be entrance bit. I don't really... There's just going to be 2 large pillars here. And I don't really know what exactly to call them. I don't know what the term for them actually is. But I'm going to interchange chiseled deep slate with normal sandstone, because normal sandstone's got this texture. And I just like the look of chiseled deep slate. And then on the outside, just to add a little bit of... Oh, whoops. To make it look like it's kind of like an archway sort of thing. Just got some normal polished upside down stairs. Like so. There's a lot of like upside down stairs in this build to help add sort of like, you know, the texture. So it isn't just flat. Let's see. More upside down stairs. And seeing as it's a nether build, I'm also using the warped trapdoors. And again, it is for texture as well as color, and I think the blue actually looks nicer with this color palette than the red does, and just in general I prefer the look of the blue. So we're just gonna do that, and then this is the last bit for like the base. of this tower. So then we just have this, and that's all it is for now. But I have to also make it go all the way up. So I might as well get started on that bit. This tower needs to start here. And just so that I've got a bit of light, because sometimes my mod switch turns off, that should help light up below as well as this section. And now I've just got to build all of these up in smooth sandstone. I don't know why I picked smooth sandstone for this. I think it's just, I wanted a bit of, I don't even know to be honest, just a change in the texture. So they all have to be built up to this height. And if any of you want to build this, this tall bit is 26 tall, and this bit is 7 tall, and you can work the rest out. And there's going to be 2 of these. So when I finish building this one, there's going to be another one over that side. And now I've got to add walls, and I've just realized this is kind of going to be annoying to do. And again, the walls just add some texture, so then you have the smooth and then a bit of sandstone, but then you can still see the smooth sticking out. And now chiseled sandstone around here. Then the other thing that I've done with this build is I'm using portals as a sort of light. I don't even know, not sure if it's not really light, because portals don't really give off light. It's just a cool look. You'll see what I mean when these are lit and there's a roof on it and stuff. It just means that from every angle, you know, you can see the portal through the gaps, and it just looks cool in my opinion. And then there's one last thing that I need to do, which probably should have tried to do whilst I was actually building this, because now this is going to be awkward. And that's add chains and lanterns under here. And now also as part of the design, I'm using cauldrons, hoppers and anvils, because it kind of adds to the palacey like castle type look. And this idea I actually got from the person who actually inspired this build in the first place. The link will be below, because when I was looking for ideas, I found a few that were decent, but this one for some reason I just preferred the look of. And he used a lot of anvils and stuff, and I just thought it looked cool. And then it also creates a place for the torches to sit. Also, this whole build looks so cool with shaders on at night. So watch to the end of the video to see how that looks. And that is Tower 1 done. Actually, I need to light the portal, but I'll do that afterwards. So now I just have to do the exact same thing on the other side. Just like that. Cool. So now to move on to the other pillars that are going to be surrounding the actual portal frame itself. So these are kind of quadrupled up. So there's one there, and then one there, and finally one here. And now on the inside, again for like texture reasons, because you can see it sticking up through the gap, I've got myself chiseled, and then sea lanterns like this, and smooth sandstone stairs going around like this. And then this is just going to be extended all the way up. So let me just do the same thing on these 4. Like that. And now to just bring this up this high, and to bring the chiseled all the way up. And now I'm just going to fill this center bit with trapdoors like that, and I've got to do that all the way around. And now I need to put walls all around here and pull them up as well. And close it off at the top. Like that. And now I just have to do the exact same thing on the other 3. And now I wanted to join all of these together like that, all the way around. And then in here I'm gonna have more portals, and these are gonna go all the way up. Remember these walls. I decided to board this up with glass for a couple of reasons. One, I think it kind of helps, I don't know, filter the color of the portal a little bit, but also if any mobs happen to spawn like pigmen, then they can't get through and be annoying. So now I just have to do that all the way around. And now I just need to fill in this top bit. I need flint and steel, like that. And now I just need to boop and boop. Yeah. Okay, actually. Okay, hold on. Let me set up the trap first, because this is going to be annoying and possibly lag out my world. So I'm going to need a dropper for each. So I only need 2 droppers. I'm going to need some hoppers, and I'm going to need 4 observers, which means I need 1 more. So I don't have any wither roses, but I did have a thought. Can I use powdered snow? I do need some lava still to get rid of the drops that come out. So how is this going to work then? Because I need them to fall. If I was to put an egg there, is that going to get destroyed? Because then they'll fall in here and hopefully eventually start dying. I don't know if they die straight away because they're pigmen or not. Oh wait, that doesn't work. If I get some more powdered snow and 1 more hopper, I kind of need to then just test it to see if this works. If I test this real quick, I want to see if they actually just fall in. Oh, actually, no, they won't yet. Hold on, let me add these in down here. Let me just see if this works. I'm just going to wait around for a bit to see if this works or not. Right, well, that seems to answer my question. None are spawning. I don't know why. I'm just going to leave it as that for now. Oh, what? Now one's... Oh, okay, right. Is he dying? He is dying. Okay, it's very slowly. Okay, well, okay, well, it works. It works. Right, let's carry this on then. So I've just gone into my Nether, and then on the way back, it's teleported me into here. I did not think about that as being a thing, which is annoying because I like this design. Maybe I can just use purple stained glass instead, and then I don't even have to worry about the trap. So the purple's in, and I'll get rid of the black. That might look fine. So I've just downloaded borderless glass and clean glass. Okay, well, there's still borders. Let's try this other one. Okay, well, there's no borders, but it's no longer clean. Oh, found one. One that's apparently incompatible. Issue is I can't tell because the portal's behind it. So what do I think looks better? The pink, which actually is a bit brighter, magenta I mean, or the purple. It's gonna have to be magenta. It just stands out a bit more. The purple, you can't really tell is there, whereas the magenta you can. Yeah, it's got to be magenta. Right, how do I make magenta then? I need more magenta glass. Doodah. Right, well, I can get rid of this now. Waste of time this was. I'm also thinking I just continue the sea lantern down, because then at night that might look quite cool actually. Yeah, no, that just looks wrong. That just looks wrong. Never mind. Let me get rid of that. The only thing I'm thinking though is the portals did emit a little bit of light at night time, so it looked quite cool having these light up. So what if I leave it on the floor and then also I did the roof as well in a similar thing? Actually, it does help it light up a little bit, to be fair, and it's not as obtrusive. What does it look like with so fast on? It might look okay, but it just looks like, look, I mean, I know I don't play with shaders on, but it just looks cool. And now that I have to have glass instead, it's a bit different. Although I've just realised, am I going to have the same problem with these portals? Are these far enough away? I'm hoping these are far enough away. If I go through mine, all of these are going to have to be blooming glass as well. Ah, oh, damn it. That's just annoying. I'm trying to think now. I'm going to have to redesign it. I mean, these towers I might be able to get away with doing something different. Now, let me get a load of magenta glass and I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if I was to, like, rather than it being obsidian here, if I was to replace it with lanterns and then the glass, how that would look. But I'm going to get all the glass first. I might as well turn this off as well. It's just annoying that I've collected all of that obsidian for no reason now. This resource pack makes glass look dreadful on its own. But if I was to do that and then that, and that's enough for me to try it. So if I remove all this obsidian and replace it with sea lanterns, just like that, and then wait for the sun to set. Apparently it will set quicker if you guys subscribe, so if you haven't done that already, then click subscribe. Thank you, I appreciate it. So now, if I turn that off, turn on the shaders, the corners, I don't like the corner, I'm going to replace the corners with deep slate. thing is, it looks fine until you then see the sea lanterns, and then I'm not a fan. Like, if you're at an angle where you can't see the sea lanterns, so like that, then that's fine. But it's no, I think it will do actually. I think it looks alright. I'm just going to copy that on this side now. So I decided to change the design a little bit. I've copied, like basically just flipped it. So now there's slabs up there, and I've shortened these posts. And it just helps hide the sea lanterns on the inside a little bit more. And now I just have to fill all of this in. But now I'm thinking, do I replace all of this obsidian as well? Nah, I think I'll leave that obsidian in. I am going to need more glass though. That used a lot more than I thought it was going to. Actually, I just thought of an idea. Well, time to fill all 4 of these back in. So I think in here at the top, I'm going to add 1 extra one like that. That's finally done. And then I'm going to do the same at the bottom here. Or do I just leave that sandstone now? I'm just going to leave that sandstone actually. Right, so what I've done is I've changed the bottom here, as you can see, with sea lanterns. I've made it 1 lower. So again, from the outside, you can't see it, but I'm hoping at nighttime it lights it up. And then I've done the same up there where I've put it 1 up. Okay, so that's done. Now to just continue doing this top bit. Both sides are now done. Can you spot the difference? I'll just tell you. This one here has got 4 trapdoors, and this one here has got 3 trapdoors. The reason for that is because whilst I was building this one, I realized it was a 3x3 center, so it didn't make sense to have 4, otherwise it's not central, as you can see. Like, there's just this 1 spare one here, and that annoyed me whilst I was building this one, so I changed it, and now I'm gonna have to make the changes on this one too to make them match. But I believe that should be it. Of course, now that's also a 3 gap, and now I can get started on the actual portal bit. Oh, also I terraformed this entire place just to make it look a little bit neater and nicer. But anyway, let's get started on this portal, shall we? I'm actually starting the portal higher up because I'm actually gonna have slab stairs coming all the way up. Kind of, I don't know why, I just did. So this is how big the portal is going to be, like so, and then come all the way up. So the outside of the portal itself is actually going to be in chiseled deep slate, and then rather than the sandstone be like in line, I'm kind of going out one and making it stick out. Again, I mentioned before about adding depth. That's the word I was looking for. I didn't say depth last time, but I meant depth into builds. And then I wanted it to kind of arch up like so. So now I can put the final bits of obsidian in. Cool, like that. And that actually means that this is going to be removed. Right, now I just need to do the same pattern on the other side. Like that. And then I lined the outer of this with cut sandstone. And again, making it stick out 1, and then interlaying chiseled, and then cut again, and then chiseled, and then you get the picture. And the same thing on the other side. So these corners are chiseled, and I'm putting cut down. I can't remember the rest. It's the schematic saying. Was that it? Moving on to the top bit, I'm gonna have to do the glass bit again because I did put a portal here as well, but I'm gonna have the same problem with this one not being able to be used. So I'm going to need to do the glass thing again, which means I'm going to change my schematic a tad because I used this to put the portal up, but I need sea lanterns. So I'm thinking if I do something like that, and then do the circular outline as planned with the chiseled, kind of like that, but then put slabs up there and down here to hide the sea lanterns. It might work. What if I just did that? Oh, it just annoys me that you can't see it at the top, but you can see it at the bottom. There we go, that seems to work. I just moved it higher and put these going across, so it still kind of splits it up and makes it a bit even. Okay, so now what I need to do is... let's get the glass in and see how this looks, if I even have enough glass. Oh, I should do. Cool, and now if I turn this off, yeah, it's good enough. If I throw on my shaders, yeah, it kind of works actually. I don't know why it looks like that, but it will do. Like when you look at it normally, yeah, it looks alright. Cool. So this next part, I'm going to build a kind of like bridge coming across all of this area, so that it then connects to the roof. And sea lanterns are going to double up behind me, which means I need more. So I'm going to stay AFK here for a while. So first things first, I need to line this entire bit with sea lanterns. I need to do it again, and then there's... no, that's wrong. Stair there, as well as on this top bit. Bottom part is slabs. This top bit is stairs, and the same on the other side. Cool, like that. And then that's the center. And then do a similar style as I did at the bottom, where I have slabs and the stairs. And this bit is where the bridge connects each one. Alright, and then the stairs thing again. And I need to bring the sea lanterns across for the glass to go on. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Cool, like that. Get some texture in with these trap doors. I need more walls. Right, that's that bit done. And now to fill this glass in, which I feel like I'm going to need to get a lot more. Yeah, okay. Hopefully that's enough. Now, do I put sea lanterns all up here, or is that going to look annoying from the outside? Only one way to find out. And now I need to put stairs all around here. Pretty cool. You can't really see the sea lanterns, so that works. And then I just need to put normal facing stairs around this edge. And one more layer, but this time upside down stairs. Like so. Now this should be the same height as this. And now I need to start on the roof. Well, first of all, I need to fill all of this with deep slate tiles. So this is going to take a while and use a lot of blocks. Apart from surrounding this bit, I need to put down some trapdoors and sea lanterns. Alright, cool. That's that. Oh, I'm going to need more sea lanterns. For now, I'm just going to carry on with the roof part, which goes like this. And I'm using this block of amethyst as the purple sort of... I keep falling off. The purple, what's the word I'm thinking of? Highlight for the roof. Okay. Alright, now I need more sea lanterns. I need another stack plus 9 of them. I've got plenty more sea lanterns now. Also, that camel's still there. Now I need some more chiseled, which means doing this again. Boosh. Cool. Alright, that's the roof done. Just like so. Alright, some last details. I'll just put lanterns under here. Just like that. And now I want to do like a giant lantern thing here, because otherwise it's just very empty. And then I also need the trapdoors under here. So that's the start of it. Torches up here. And then lanterns under this bit. Now I need to go one layer down. Okay, not like that. Right, and then this is the bottom of the chandelier. Right, and that's the chandelier. I think it looks quite cool. One thing I did forget on the roof, though, is I want to surround these blocks, with slabs. Right, that's one thing left to do, and that is add stairs leading up into the portal. Alright, just want to build up these side walls, and then there's going to be slabs in between them. Right, and then on top of all of these chiseled, I'm going to have torches. And then in between all of these chiseled, I'm going to throw in anvils, add to the sort of palace-y look. And now I'm just going to alternate between deep slate and sandstone heading up. And now I just need to do the same thing on the back. That's not creepy at all. And there's that. Cool. Before I light the portal, I need to figure out what I want to do with this, because I don't want it to be floating. So I think I already know what I'm going to do. If I take some of the chiseled, as well as the walls that I've got left. Oh, you know what? I can use those as well. What does this look like? Does that look fine? Actually, I think that's too fat. Hold on. Let me do something else. No, that looks fine. So if I do that here, do I want to do this? No, I don't. I'll have to do the same thing on the other side, like that. That looks fine. I want to do something here as well. That works. I kind of like that. That's like two giant eyes. Yeah, I think that works. The bit that I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to see much anyway. All right, let's go light this portal. Let's remove this one and light this. And with that, I have transformed my nether portal from this into this gigantic beast, which looks quite cool in the dark and with shaders on. I think it looks really cool, in my opinion. It looks sick. This is a normal Minecraft furnace, and it can smelt a stack of 64 items in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. And then this is my super smelter, which can smelt a stack of items in less than 40 seconds. Let's get on and grab some materials, shall we? I think I'm going to build it in this space here, because this here is in line with the entrance to my storage. So if I can build the super smelter in this area, anything that I smelt, I'm going to have a lever where I can flick it. So either I just pick it up right here, or I can flick it again and the stuff will come out in a stream of water this way and enter the storage. I reckon we just get on and start building this thing, don't we? Right, so I'm going to start with the kelp farms first, just so that I can get them started. And the kelp farms are actually going to be higher up, so they're going to start here. And the reason for that is because they're going to produce the kelp, which then goes into an automatic kelp block crafter, which will then go down into the smelter so that I can get infinite amount of kelp blocks as fuel. And I know that lava is better, but to do like a infinite lava source, I actually need to stand there manually to use the buckets to, like, you know, to get the lava. Whereas this way with kelp means that just whenever I'm in the area, it'll just be constantly creating kelp blocks. I think this is probably the better option for me personally. Now, there may actually be a way to do automatic lava, but I don't know of it, and I could not find it on YouTube whatsoever when I was looking. So this is the option I'm going for. And the kelp farms I'm making are a kelp farm from Mumbo Jumbo. Actually, the kelp crafter thing is also from Mumbo Jumbo. So the base of this kelp farm is 10 by 24. It's 10 back, 24 across, like so. And then just to fill this in, and I've just realized I've actually done this one too high, so that's fun. It actually needs to be on this level. Cool. So now the third block from the black is all sand, and by black I mean back. I don't know why I said black. Words are hard. And we've got to do the observers, the droppers, which will take the detection from the observers and send it to the observers above, which are right here. So these will detect the dropper, and then oh wait, this is a normal block, this isn't observers, and now we've got the observers facing no, what are you doing? And now we've got observers facing this way, although now I'm kind of confused with what the droppers are for. And we've got blocks here and pistons, another layer of blocks, and then we throw in some sea lanterns, and then we do it all over again 4 more times. Now I surrounded these with stairs. Don't know why, I just did. The hopper line needs to go that way, all the way across, like so, and then slabs on top, and then blocks covering the outside, like that. And now I need to build up all of this with glass. Just like that. And now I need to fill all of this in as well. Cool, now that's done. I've got the annoying part now of putting in all the water. I don't really know best way to do that, because if I do that, okay, well, what happens if I, okay, so this, I think, oh god, I think this is the way it's to, okay, this is annoying, but this is the way it's to be done. Oh, I know why this works. It's because it turns it into source blocks so the water won't flow backwards. Okay, well that looks messy. Alright, that should be one completely done now. I just need to build the other one directly above my head right there. Alright, now I'm going to build the kelp block crafters. I am using Lightmatica for this bit because there's no way in hell I'm going to remember where everything needs to go. I don't fully know if I actually understand why anything is where it is, to be honest with you. Now we've got a line of hoppers that will collect the dried kelp, like so. Right, I need detector rail going like that. Like that. Now I need these rails for the minecart to distribute the items. So now this needs to be set to 6, so that's got a strength of 6, and that one is 2 for whatever reason, I don't really know why. And then that goes there, because essentially, let me go into free cam, what happens is as soon as this minecart is full, which it will be quite quickly, this piston should open up, and the minecart should then go around this way and go around and keep going around until all of these are full, and then when it's empty it will be detected by this detector rail, which will then turn this off, which will then allow this rail to go straight and push the minecart back up here, which will lock into position until it's full again, and then so on, it will repeat. And then what happens with the hoppers and the smelted kelp is they will all be pushed over here into this crafter, which will then craft it into kelp blocks and push it into this chest. Okay, let's go get lost. I was talking to the people. So it's basically 50-50. So the first one will go out into the smelter. The second one will then, or should hopefully, go back into this system and up here into this minecart hopper. And then when this one is full, that will then do the same thing as this one up here, but instead it will put the kelp blocks back into the smelting system. So it's basically just constantly fueling itself as well as fueling the smelter. Now before I can get that started, I need to fill these all with kelp blocks of my own, which is why I wanted to build these first, because then I can just manually smelt these to begin with so that I can fill the smokers up and get that first system started. I'm going to get started on the second one, just like that. And now whilst these are smelting and doing their thing, I think it's time to get on and start building the actual super smelter. So I'm just going to build the outline of the base part where the actual furnaces and hoppers are going to sit, just like this. A dropper there, which when it has something in, will be set off and shoot the items out. And now I need a line of hoppers at the very end going into the dropper, and now a double line of hoppers leading into those, because this is where the furnaces are going to sit. And obviously once the smelted items are smelted, they will come into this line. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And now I just need to go around and cover all of these hoppers with furnaces. And now I need hoppers going into the sides and the tops of all of these furnaces, like that. And now for the rails, I need to double up some normal blocks on the outside. And there's also more blocks on the inside here for the top half of the rails. And there's also some trapdoors here for the rails to pass over, because I believe because they're not full blocks, it means the rails can actually like go over but also through it. Okay, cool. So then the rail system is as follows. Goes all around here and then snakes around in this bit. And then if I carry this along all the way to the end, I've just got to do the same thing on the other side. I need the detector rails here, like so. And then we need a repeater there, a block here. And I don't have a piece of redstone dust, so I guess we'll just do this for now. And then in between, we're gonna have trapdoors to block them off. An observer facing up. No, this is an observer facing down there, not up. And then in between these two are our chests. And that actually means that I can now connect this up and this one up as well. Cool. Right, let's move up to the next layer, which is going to be the distribution channels for the actual things you want to smelt. And let's also get on and power these rails. So that's the redstone blocks in. Let's start on the actual deposit system, so where we're actually going to put our items. So that's a lie again. Let's do this bit first. That face up and sticky piston there. And I need to do the exact same on the other side. So this rail system is actually kind of awkward because I need to do that. And that starts the snake. But then I need these to be straight. So like this. I need detector rails here because this is where the chest sits. Not gonna lie, I am not gonna remember all of this. So I am indeed just gonna use like Matica to help me. So I put the items in here, which will activate those powered rails and push the carts up, which will then get stuck behind these fence gates and fill up, and they won't be released until they are fill up. And then when they are, they'll go around the whole system, chuck them all into the furnaces, and eventually end up back at the bottom. When things are smelted, this will detect it and spit it out into a water stream, which I'll do in a minute, which will then shoot it up here and into these chests. Or when if I flick the lever that's going to be down there, it will spit them out and the water will flow around into the system. And then there's one last thing I need to do on this top bit, and that is this. And I've just noticed that this is not working. But I tested it and it was fine. Why did you go the wrong way? It's supposed to go around. I don't know why it stopped working. Okay, it did work. I don't know why it stopped working. Why have you done the same thing? Oh, now I'm trapped here. How do I get out of this? Oh, that's how. The only thing left to do now is the water collection system. So I've already put this path in, just so I could remember where the ice and stuff should go. Now the thing is, obviously I want to make it so when I flick a lever, blocks off the pathway and opens a new one. I think to make it easier, actually, let me just block this off first. Now I do also need it on the top, but I'm going to leave it open for now because I have to fill these up. And then where there's ice, I need to have slabs like so. And then the water, we'll just do this. Cool. And then where do I want the pistons? I need to block this one off and this one here, and then same on the other side. So down, up. Okay, so that works, but I need it so that when I do that, it deactivates Ah. There is probably a much simpler way of doing this, but I'm not very redstone savvy. Okay, so that's that. And now I need... I think the best way of doing it would actually just to be... make the floor one more across. So now... I need to flow there, but then stop. So I need ice here and that there. So that flows around that way. And that only just doesn't reach. That is frustrating. So that's always there. I just need blocks there and there to do this and this. And now I just need to go down here and do that. And now let me just get 128 sand. And now I just need 128 of these. Now what should happen is when I put... Okay, I've got to put one of each of these in first. Boop, 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 boop. This is going to take a while. And that should be the last one. Now, is this going to break? Is this even going to work? I do not know. It should start when I do this. Those are filling up. They are distributing. It should end up being one each. Cool, and that's all the glass. 2 stacks smelted just like that. That was rather fast. I suppose all I can really do now is try and link it up with my storage, and then it can just fall down here. I'll let this go so I can see how far the water comes. So, well, so now it all falls in. Right, now I need to figure out how far down to go, because this is going behind here. So how do I do that? How do I get behind here then? How do I get there then? I forgot how to get there then. Yeah. I need it to join these. Oh, I'm gonna need more than 16 hoppers. Unless I just make it keep on flowing water, but I think if I make the water flow all the way from up there, items may despawn by the time they get here. What's the item despawn time? 5 minutes. Oh no, it wouldn't take 5 minutes to get down here. If I did that, so the water ends here, so it's 9 blocks, right? Oh, if I've done this right, it should... Yes. Okay, right, that bit's set up. I need to go down to 22. Right, let's head down. Boom. That is perfect. No, it's not. Okay, cool. Right. Yeah, now I want to test this. So, let me go back up to the top. Right, so how I can test this is in FreeCam. If I click F6, it allows me to control the player, so I can click Q, for example, and I can throw stuff down. If I go down to here, in FreeCam mode, F6, and then Q, hopefully, at some point, we'll see a block of diorite come. Q? Was it because it's not loaded? Well, now that makes me scared. Throw that in, and I can see it drop down. So how come I can see it now, but I couldn't see it whilst I was waiting down here? It disappeared there. Oh, it despawns right there. Well, I'm gonna have to throw a stack of something in that I can check. Okay, so there's 2 stacks and 51. If I chuck 3 through, now if I go check the ice, is it gonna show up or is it... Oh, it did show up. Okay, I'm gonna have to have a new test now. Right, that took a few minutes. Another test, because that could have just worked because I turned up here. So if I was to stay over there, and let me actually stand where I would be standing. So if I put another 3 in there, and now I just wait, and then I will go check in a bit to see if it's actually entered my system. It did. Okay, so it just despawns from simulation, not actually despawns. Okay, good. That still works. I'm curious to know how long a full double chest will take. Oh wait, this is the wrong chest, isn't it? Jesus, already? Why is it not filling in these ones? It's only filling... Wait, yeah, 1 stack should take it around the whole thing. There's one not even being filled. That's not even got anything in it. It's only filling 33. Well, that needs to be fixed. It's only filling half a stack. Okay, so I'm thinking I might be able to just copy what I've done behind me. So these minecart hoppers don't leave until they are full. I couldn't make it work, so I decided to split it in half again to the size it's actually supposed to be. And my plan was to build another one of it on the opposite side, so then I'd have 2 input and 2 output chests. And I ended up deciding against this just because it just wouldn't look as good. And I really wanted to do the idea of having the minecarts go off when they are full. So I came up with a new design in creative mode, which took me ages. Hence why I'm doing a commentary over it rather than actually showing you, because it's just not worth it. So one issue that I found is that this redstone torch was locking this hopper, and obviously that means for this one the majority of them are actually not even doing anything. Yeah, look, full stack, full, like they're all going to be full because I stayed AFK overnight, but yet none of them are going into the minecart hopper because of this torch. So that's one thing I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to move both kelp farms back, and then also in this schematic I made them a little bit wider, as you can see here, so they can go into, they kind of interconnect perfectly. I've managed to figure out how to make it so the minecarts don't go until they are completely full, so 320 items in total, using this system. Fence gates have to be used, otherwise it won't collect it if it's full blocks. The way I'm doing that is using this same system here, where the rail detects the minecart, so that if it's not empty, it will keep going round. As you can see here, so the minecart will go around the entire system, will come past this detector. If it's still got items in, then it will be let through this way, come back on and keep going round. If it's empty, it will go around this path here, back, and I've changed all of this redstone on this side because I don't need it all. That was just for the old system. So now it just automatically goes straight back up into here. If there's more items to collect, then it will wait until it's full and then go off again, and so on. So essentially now, everything that I've just removed to make it only 32, I can now put back and then have to make this extended version, as well as extend both these kelp farms. So I hate my life. So I'm going to have to delete all of these source blocks. Oh, go away. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. Actually, I just thought it's going to be quite annoying to build it going down because of having to do this. Oh, this is just... maybe I should install that mod where I can choose which direction I want the blocks to be facing. Oh, you... And now I just have to move this one back as well. Oh, and now that's done, I've just got to extend both of these a little bit, which means I need another 50 of each observers, pistons, and lanterns. Am I dumb? I thought it was 5 times 5, so that should have only been 25. 5, 10, 15... Oh, there's 2 sets of piston observers. Okay, now I feel like I'm going to need more glass, but for now... Oh, that's all finally done. Now I've just got to put all the water and stuff back in. Just place the... These pistons are messing up the sound. I can't even hear myself place. Okay, well, that's one side done. Now I just have to do the exact same thing on this side, finally. Right, now that's ready. I can remove this, put the other 32 back, and then make my own personal version of this. And now, with making all of these source blocks, I believe that's it all done. I bloody well hope. The only thing I need to do is put in the switch, but for now, I think it would be a good idea to test it. No, because it's going to come all the way around here, and I don't have... I need 2 stacks for each. So let me just take half of these out and fill up this other side. So now that's filled up, let me get these minecarts in, and nothing should happen until they're full. The only problem I've thought with this design though is it won't work at all if there's less than 5 stacks, unless I manually set it off, which I suppose I can deal with. Right, so... moment of truth. So if I was to put 5 stacks in here, does it only distribute to 1, or does it split between the 2? Okay, it splits between the 2. So essentially it's only going to work if there's 10 stacks. So now one should go, and the other one, cool. And now I'm hoping it lets it go left on the right hand side and straight on. Yeah, cool, okay. Why are you still going around? How are you not finished yet? Oh, you have. Okay, cool. Is there any way that I could attach redstone at the top here so I don't have to flick it down there? But I'm not smart enough. How do you send redstone signals down? What I could do is have like a sticky piston up there with a lever, and then it pushes slime box down that has a redstone at the end. And then if I change this to obsidian, it'll make it immovable, although it'll move the slab. I'm gonna go back into my testing world just to make sure that this works before I waste time going to go get slime blocks. So this is what I was thinking. Just have obsidian there, a slime blocks with a redstone at the bottom, and then when I flick it, it goes down, activates, and pistons will open up a path to go to my storage, or I keep it up, and the pistons will be coming into here, which means it is worth it to turn off my mob switch just in case there isn't enough slime balls already over there, and to head into my new palace portal. If you haven't watched that video yet of me transforming this, then go ahead and watch it now. Cool, welcome back, and let's go check to see if there's already slime balls in there to begin with. Not enough, which means I've got to AFK for a bit. Okay. Let's see how much is left, shall we? And by left, I mean created. Oh yeah. Alright, let's just turn them all. There you go, 40. Yeet. Oh, I missed. Right. So, I'm gonna need... What am I doing? I've forgotten how to redstone. So that's up. That's coming out the other way. Oh, cool. And then I just need to do the same thing over here. So when that's activated, that goes like that. And then this one needs to go. So obsidian's going to go like this, like that. No, not like that. Right, now that should be fine. So if I just avoid all of these miscreants, good job. And then put that there, that should work. No, let me snooze. Okay, now let's see if this works. So what should happen when I flick this lever is those pistons should change. I missed the lever. Change? Excuse me, I tested this. Oh wait, let's try that again. It should move. Oh yeah. Perfection. Right, let me sort out all of these bloody shulker boxes. Got so much random stuff just dotted about. Because I need to design this thing, and to do that, I'm going to need a load of shulker boxes, because I need to turn this into some sort of factory. So I've got an idea for the design, and I'm just going to gather a bunch of random materials. So here comes an epic montage of me collecting materials. If I get my stone bricks, my orange terracotta, and my normal bricks, and I can just kind of get started, but I don't know how. Getting started is like the hardest part. I want to interchange bricks in with the orange terracotta, because I think when it's all done in the big picture, it will look decent. And then kind of on the corners and stuff like this, have stone brick. I think I'm just going to build and place blocks and create one wall, and then I'll step back and see how it looks. Okay, so if I was to do this and go... Okay, it looks dumb this small, so I'm going to have to make the wall taller. Okay, if I do the same thing on the other side, like that. Oh, actually, that might look alright. Hold on, so I've made some... Don't know where I've put them. I made some chains to add to the sort of industrial aesthetic. Just make it a little bit wider. Not much of an arch, actually. It's a bit more of an arch. Might have this side go out a little bit further so that I can actually go around the whole thing. I might actually bring it all the way down and leave underneath empty, just in case I need to go in and check anything. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to do this. I've just pictured something in my brain, because these are eventually going to be pipes. So if I add that on the outside, and then when I build those pipes, I can then have some sort of wall running across there. I didn't even think about that then, I just randomly placed it. So that's the L shape. This one is going to be straight, but hoping I can make it kind of zigzaggy. Or maybe I stick it out a little bit just so it's got a bit more depth. Actually, I think I might just keep this going all the way because I am going to have other things coming off the side anyway that will add depth. Unless I just kind of do one of these. I might actually, just to add a bit more shape, I might just go in, I might follow this angle. So that's the outline done, and my god, this is going to be a big build. I'm going to need so many more bricks. I feel like actually I should use less terracotta, more brick. And it doesn't really matter if it looks a bit flat for now. Do I make these two big windows, or do I keep them the same size but move it across one? I think I'm gonna move it across one, but now I'm also thinking to make it one higher, and then I can do another window. That, and then I can do probably 2 more windows up here. I think that works. Now I just have to do the same thing on this side. I'm questioning the fact that the bottom has chains and the top doesn't have chains. I'm also questioning actually if I want it to be indented one. What if this top one is actually here? That could work. I'm not saying anything because I actually don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find a place to put lanterns whilst also making it add a bit of texture. So lanterns can go there and there and there. And lanterns can go on this one as well as these ends as well. Actually, I think that looks alright. Wait, because if you imagine these are going to be carried around the entire thing. I just feel like the chains need to be there. The chains are at the bottom and it looks weird without them at the top. I think that will look alright, but I think the first step is going to be to collect some more bricks and terracotta and complete the entire outline up to this height. So I didn't have my mic plugged in for a lot of this next bit. Actually, all of this next bit. So I'm going to quickly sum up what I said. Essentially, I said that I'm going to do the windows on all the other sides apart from this side, which is going to be a chimney. And then this side is also going to have some chimneys. But the rest of it that is currently flat, I'm going to throw in a load of windows that is a similar style to the ones at the front. And yeah, that's basically it. So enjoy the process of me doing that. And now here we are. All of the windows are now done and dotted around, different shapes and sizes. Some of them have slightly different styles, but yeah, they're all done. The only annoying thing that I didn't think about is the fact that the panes connect to the glass on some parts. But now I'm going to move on to doing the chimneys. The similar style to it being brick and terracotta is what I'm going to do, but slightly different. They're going to like start bigger base and then get thinner and thinner until it gets to just stone at the top. So I should probably get some stone. How does that look as a chimney? I think that might actually be too thick. Okay, that looks a little bit better as a chimney. And now I've decided actually I want to move it back one. And then there's going to be ow, I forgot it hurts me. And I wanted to surround it in walls. Oh, that looks silly. I feel like when there's 3 of them, something like that might work for a chimney. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. So that's those 3 top bits done, but I need a lot more bricks if I'm going to finish this off and then do it again on the other side. Which means I need to go get some more clay because I'm out of bricks. Well, now that I've got a load more bricks, I can get on and make the other 3, as well as obviously complete the one I'm currently doing. Okay, so the chimneys are done with the extra detail on top of those bits, so it wasn't just flat. So for the pipes, I've got 2 options: copper bulbs or copper grates. Either way, I'm going to need to get a little bit more copper, I think, because I've only got 64 and that is not going to be enough. And that other thing is actually resin, which if you don't know is a new item in this update and means I've got to go all the way to a pale garden, which is very far away. So I'm just going to go through this hole here and then I'm in the pale gardens. Well, not right now, but also this spawn is kind of cool for the pale gardens. Got a mansion right next to it. Now I need a creaky boy. Give me the resin. This is just, I just have to click it, right? Okay, cool. Right, well, give me all of it. Ah, okay, this is going to take a lot of resin. Ow. I'm pretty sure I can take that with me. So let's see if I can. I'm pretty sure I can take it with me. And then he will respawn and I can make this, which will make it a lot easier for me. Why? I forgot it's a 4. Now I've got to wait until nighttime to be able to actually test this properly. I can't use a stone cutter. Oh, well, whilst I wait for it to be nighttime, I guess I'll go get some more copper. So this is the sort of thing that I was thinking of. So if I kind of put one of these things here, because I think the bulbs look quite cool. And then what I'll also do is I'll wax some of them, but not the others. So it's like that sort of thing. So pipes. I was kind of between that, but I don't know which one looks better or if I just have both. And I'll put some out on this side as well. And then I was also going to use these, which I'm now running out of. And I'm kind of thinking of just replacing the glass with these instead. Oh, I also need to make sure I wax these. And I need a load more copper. Cool. I was gonna change like the bottom bits to the bulbs. I feel like the copper makes it really look like pipes. So I'm dumb and I didn't plug my mic back in again. Basically, I unplug it at night because there's a light on it and it annoys me when I try and go to sleep. So I unplug it at night and I forgot to plug it back in. But essentially, what was it that I did today? I have to remind myself now. But essentially, all I did was go around and add all of the copper detail bits. So I replaced all the glass on the like item tube bits with copper grates and copper bulbs. And I think they turned out quite nicely, to be honest with you. I think they look quite industrial and factory-ish. I made sure to wax some of them, but leave some of them unwaxed so that they could weather. So I've got a mixture of weathered, oxidized, and just normal copper grates. Well, basically anything that's copper to kind of add with the texture and the color of things, and also make it look like, you know, it's been in use for a while, so things have rusted. And I also made sure to add in more of the resin detail. So I'm using resin walls, kind of like almost like pipes, sort of. I couldn't think of anything else to use. I was briefly questioning using lightning rods because again they're copper looking, but I tested the resin. I really like how it looks, like the brighter orange but still orange, so it's with the color theme but it's just a brighter color. I just think it turned out really good with the resin sort of thing. Plus it allowed me to use the new block, which I haven't used yet. And then as another copper detail, as some like vents almost, I just used normal copper blocks, and then when I ran out of copper blocks I used grates and bulbs again, but I used normal copper blocks as like sort of vents and dotted those around on some of the flat walls as well, with some of them having torches as kind of smaller sort of chimneys almost, I suppose. I thought of an idea to help make the black panes on the white glass look better, because as you can see here, it's kind of, you can see the slits and it just looks weird. So to fix that, instead of using panes, I'm just replacing those parts, so where they connect to the farm on the inside, and replace them with full glass blocks, and that helps make it just look a little bit better and less messy. And then I decided to add some spruce and dark oak trap doors on the doorway entrance, as well as on some of the walls, for just a little bit of detail. I'm not really sure what they're for, but it just adds a little bit extra texture and color, you know. And then just to complete the build, I extended the walls down, and to cover those up again I added some other copper bits, copper lining, so that it wasn't just a flat wall. I also added in some stone brick walls on the corners. On the front I also added stairs, upside down stairs and walls. Made sure to add ladders in so I can actually get into the entrance, and a little stairway up to the ladders, so if I miss the flight in, or if I don't have rockets or whatever, then I can still get into the smelter. This is when I would then went around and made sure to use a load of what are they called? Honeycomb to wax the copper bits and bobs. We then move on to the interior. I wanted to line the interior with white glass so that I could still see through, just because I like the idea of being able to see all of the carts moving and everything still working together. So I lined the floor with white glass and then surrounded it with logs and normal brick walls so that I wouldn't fall off, and it also still then ties in with the rest of the build. And I made sure to connect the glass floor with logs to the other logs on the inside so that it wasn't just floating. And I made sure to have a little ladder way down so I could still access the carts and the furnaces if need be, which I will need to refuel sometimes if it runs out. And also made another platform underneath so that I could access the kelp crafters if needs be. And then the final thing was adding a floor to the actual inside on the bottom, otherwise it's just going to be sandstone and that just looks weird when you can see through it. But so I used normal oak just because I had a load of it left over. Currently don't have anything else under there. I feel like there is definitely a lot of space to be able to add some other things like machinery, but I honestly couldn't think of anything, and I just want this video out. It's already late, so deal with the empty space. I ain't doing it. And then to finish the whole build off, obviously I had to add lighting in, so I just added some brick walls with lanterns on the outside, and also dotted a load in on the inside as well because it was way too dark. And then that is my super smelter complete. So sorry it's late, hope you enjoyed. Subscribe. So basically, I want to build a base for every single biome that's in the game. And I'm going to go in alphabetical order, so the first biome is actually going to be the Badlands biome. And for this massive build, I'm going to need a load of red sand and sandstone stuff, which means I'm going to have to go and collect a load of red sand and sandstone stuff. In fact, in total, I'm going to need 30 stacks of red sandstone, so I'll just collect that now real quick. I also need 10 stacks of chiseled red sandstone, 10 stacks of smooth red sandstone stairs, 3 stacks of smooth, a stack of smooth slabs, a stack of sandstone walls, and a stack of sandstone stairs. Now for this build, I'm also going to need 23 stacks of spruce logs. So I'm just going to fly over and check my tree farm because I know I got a load of spruce logs before for a previous video. And I don't believe I took them all, but I could be wrong. Okay, I didn't, but that is not enough. So I'm going to take some saplings here, refill this bone meal real quick. And I'm just going to stand here until I have all 23 stacks. Alright, well I'm out of bone meal. That's basically a full double chest amount. That should be fine. I am going to need extra anyway to be able to make normal planks as well, because I need a load of those. So I'm just going to take everything that I have and hope that's enough. And now that's all the exterior stuff. I'm just going to start building. So luckily I've already got the perfect place to build this, and it's right here. Excuse me, sirs. What are you all doing here? Rude. So I've just now got to clear out a space because if we're going to free cam, I want the entrance to be like etched into it so it can look like it's part of the mountain itself. Actually, first of all, I need to move this a little bit closer because it's only just too far away to get rid of the rest of that. Right, now we can resume. It doesn't look like much, but I believe that this is the space that I'm going to need. I completely forgot there was a cave underneath, but it might actually work out well because there's a cave underneath. Because I am doing the interior as well. I need a lot of space for that, so this just saves me mining out a load of space, really. And then the pictures that I could find of the Petra kind of estimated how tall the pillars should be. So I've got the bottom pillars being 10 high. And then I've got a mixture of normal stairs combining with upside down stairs. couple of times, because on the picture the pillars are kind of topped with like these sort of spiky bits, and I've tried to replicate it as close as I could in this game, but you know, I'm only limited to certain blocks. So, and that is then outlined with upside down stairs on top, and it looks like I probably am gonna have to do some terraforming because I need this mountain to come up here, but I'll do that afterwards. And then there's one more layer of upside down stairs, but this time it's on the inside, so I'm going in one and doing another layer. I also had stairs down hither. So the actual wonder has sketchings in and also statues, but I'm not going to bother building statues. I can't be asked. So there's just lights in there instead. And for the sketchings, I'm just using chiseled. So we've got a layer of chiseled here, and then we've got another layer of upside down stairs. Although, just remembered actually, these stairs are sticking out one. They're not on the same level, like this. And then it also has like this little triangle thing going up, which I fiddled around with a little bit in creative when I built this, but I couldn't get exactly right. Oh, damn it. So it's not as much of a triangle as the actual wonder is, but it's close enough. And then behind this, because if you look at the picture again, you can see through the gap that there's like sketchings. So now we have something looking like this. I think I did the next pillars 7 high because this entrance is actually 40 meters total. So it's 40 blocks total, and I split the pillars 10 on the bottom, 7 on the top, because the top ones are slightly smaller. I did do my research before building this, but before I do the next pillars, I need to build this up a little bit more, and that's just using smooth sandstone. Like that. And now the pillars need to carry on coming up. That's that. And now I just have to do the other pillars the same height. So now for these two sides, it's literally just going to be bricked off. And then these two bits is where the statues are, which I'm not going to build. So the background of both of these is going to be all chiseled. So I just need to build this all the way up. And then walls are going to go in there. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then for this section, I've got to fill all of this in with just normal sandstone. And then the sides are chiseled. Right, and now in these corners, I'm putting in walls for no specific reason. And then lanterns just go up onto those bits. Alright, so now we have this. And now I need to do the roof. I'm going to use Lightmatica because this next part is just a pain in the ass to do. And now it's done. I just need the lanterns in for the outside. But I think it looks alright, to be honest with you. I think it looks quite cool. And then I'm going to have to bring the mountain out a bit because the actual Petra is like enveloped in the mountain. So I have to bring the mountain out, both the sides and the top. But I'll do that afterwards. So now I can move on to this bit. I need to change this bit into red sandstone on the walls and stuff, and the top, and then move on to the interior. Right, so now these two sides need to be filled in just with smooth. And then at the tops here, we've got ourselves some of these walls, again for the lanterns. And then I just need to do the same on the other side. And now, as you can see from this outline, I need to fill all this in with normal sandstone and do that doorway in chiseled. But before I do that, let me put these other walls in. And now that all of this bit is filled in, I'm just going to change the floor to orange terracotta. And I'll do the same on the outside as well, just so that it all blends in nicely together. Like that. Cool. Right, well that's the entrance fully done, apart from the lanterns, which I'll put in at the end. And now I'm going to move on to the interior, which again, I'm probably going to use Lighmatica for. And I'm also going to need all of my spruce items for, as well as stone and a lot of other stuff. I need to, basically, I've got some more items I need to collect. So as well as the spruce logs, I am also in need of 18 stacks of trapdoors, and that's because I used them all for the ceiling. I've just realized how expensive trapdoors are. You use 6 planks to make a trapdoor. What sort of BS is that? That one thing apparently takes that to make. You're telling me all of this wood is in this? How is that? How does that make any sense? I need 17 stacks of planks. I need many other stacks of like stairs, fences, and slabs and stuff. I'm going to need to get myself 15 stacks of stone brick. The more annoying one is actually going to be the 7 stacks of sea lanterns, because the farm I've got actually isn't that quick for sea lantern making, which is kind of annoying. Well, now that I've got everything that I need, I can get started on the interior. Now, all of this needs to be filled in with red sandstone. There is actually going to be a little bit of carpet with sea lanterns underneath here, but I can't remember exactly where. They go here. And now the rest is sandstone. And then this is the start of the floor for the next bedroom. Not the next bedroom, the first bedroom. Or living room or gaming room or whatever the hell it ends up being. And then this is the other room that's downstairs. I also need a load of black terracotta, which means I need black dye. And I don't think I have any left. Oh, I do. Oh, yeah. Ow. I don't actually need too much of it. So we'll see if that is enough. So now, because the shape of the entrance has these 2 little bits that are walled off, I actually made this as part of the rooms, and I dispersed in some black terracotta to mix things up a tad. I'm going to use Lighmatica just to get the outline, because I remember some bits, but I don't remember where everything goes. That's the thing with the big builds. Even though I designed it, I can't remember for the life of me the exact number in each direction. So that is the terracotta there, and then I also need it on this side, and then I just need to go back around here with the outline of stone brick, and then do the same thing with the terracotta on this side. So these 2 rooms are exactly even. I've actually built this build quite symmetrical, and normally I actually try and make it a little bit off. Just, I don't know why. Sometimes I feel like there is perfection in imperfection, you know? But not with this build. This build is basically completely symmetrical. What's this outline for? I want to keep the natural sort of cave anywhere I can. I did build this build with it being inside of a mountain in mind. So like, for example, I don't have the roof fully covering and that sort of stuff. Actually, I don't think I've built a roof at all, because I didn't need a roof because it's going to be in a cave. So where I can, I don't want to destroy too much above in case I can use the naturalness. Right, so this is the outline. I now need to put bricks in between each of these. Alright, now I also need some trapdoors, because as part of the design, I did this. Nope, not there. There. And now I need to build all of this 6 high in total. Now I do have a couple of windows, but they're not really seeing out to anything. So I'm not sure if I keep the windows or if I get rid of the windows. Probably just fill it in. I can always just get more. That one can stay a window. I might even make this one a window, actually, even though I'm pretty sure it's not on the schematic. Yeah, I can make that a big window. Alright, I also need sideways logs here. Oh, wait. No, that's a lie. Hold on, I'm going to have to use my schematic for this, because the stairs come up here, as you can see from the schematic. So it's not the height that I thought it was all the way around. I really have just forgotten my own bloody build. I don't like having the schematic up when I make videos though, because I just think it looks weird. Okay, now that that's all filled in properly, I can get all the trapdoors for the roof and then put sea lanterns on top of them, facing this way. And now I can put sea lanterns on. And now sandstone. Alright, so let me just clear this space up a bit. We get rid of all of this terracotta and stuff that's dotted around. And now all of this I'm just going to fill in with stone bricks. There's no point in having windows here. And then there's trapdoors as walls here. Just to add a bit of different design and texture to the build. That's basically the lower level until I need to decorate it. Yeah, so as you can see, I just need to put the lanterns in and then glass and stuff. But I'll do that at the end. Right, now we can move on to the second level. So for the next layer, I'm going to need a load of planks as well as stairs. So the stairs start hither, just like so. And then we've got a load of spruce planks coming across this way. And then we've got stairs going back up, just 4 wide this time. But that's as far as I'll take them because they go up to the third level. And for now, I'm doing the second. I need to bring all the logs up 1 more because they are going to be filled with planks as an outline, because this is like the farm area. So this is where there's going to be animals as well as food like wheat. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the outline real quick, just like this. Now these front ones all need to be built up another 5, and then these ones need to be built up 6. So let me just clear out this terracotta. And now I can build these up this high. And now I need to connect these top bits with sideways logs all the way around and clear out the rest of this terracotta. So now sticking out one is the stone brick. And then here, I've got a mix of fence gates and normal fences. And then I've got more surrounding this area. And then to prepare for the lighting, just like that. And I need more bricks. Right, I've put stripped log here just so that there's a little bit of different colouring. Finish off the flooring of this level. I need a bunch of grass blocks. So let me just go gather a bunch of grass blocks. Right, let's fill all this in then. Oh, that kind of ruins the look. Doesn't look as good with it. Oh, it being bright green, but oh well. So that's the floor done. Now I just need to move on to the roof, which is basically just filling in the rest of the sandstone. And now I need sea lanterns coming along here, and then trapdoors. Right, so that is the second floor done. Apart from I need more stairs to go onto this bit. First of all, I need another layer of normal logs going all the way out. Okay, all the way across is what I was trying to say. Now I can put stairs all the way up here. Well, there's that. And now I need to do the stairs up, which means I need planks. Alright, that is the second level done, and then on to the third and final one. I think I'm just going to time-lapse this one because it's basically just the same designs as the previous levels. So the recording failed. On the third floor, we've got windows on that side, windows on that side, and then how I've done it is the beds are going either side of there, This is just like a mini storage area. I actually didn't do the interior much on this one because it's actually a large space to fill and I didn't know what else to put in it. But then above here, we've got the sea lantern set up again. And this is another area that I'm going to have to terraform because I want all this to be hidden. But now that we have all 3 floors built and ready to rumble, I need to actually just decorate the interior. For that, I'm going to need 2.5 stacks of sea lanterns. I need some white glass stained panes, white stained glass panes. I'm of course going to need some wheat seeds to actually plant the wheat. I also use some black carpet to cover the sea lanterns on the floor, stone brick walls, some white carpet also for the floor, some chains, a number of chests and barrels, bookshelves for the enchanting area, a few beds of course because it is a base after all, a couple of extra crafting tables and flower pots with flowering azalea coming out of them, as well as some other essentials like anvils and furnaces and stuff like that. Well, now that I've got everything that I need, I can actually get on and start decorating this place. So starting with down here, I believe I outlined carpet on this bit like that, and then I had the enchanting room behind here. And then an anvil and a grindstone on there. Just put upside down stairs here, which means this actually can't be a window. Barrels for storage. And then how I've liked to do the stairs, add some extra light in quite a few of these builds actually, is this. And then add trap doors on the inside like this. And then actually what I did here was I added some more bookshelves so that you could get the total of 30 levels with some more barrels like this. Because then if I turn off the thing, the light still shines through. And then just adding more of these as to add like shelving, and the same on the other side. And then I also put some extra on there. Right, so that's the enchanting area. That gets you level 30. And now, I actually didn't know what to do for these rooms. One could be a kitchen, and if you want to make this yourself, I'll put a download schematic down below, and you could just build the build and then do the interior however you want to do it. But, you know, you could have one of these as like the kitchen, and one as like a living room area if you wanted to. But as you can see, I kind of left them open because I didn't know what to do for them. I've just hung up lighting so that there's actually, you know, lights so mobs don't spawn. And that's basically it. The other builds that I plan to make do have full interiors. This is like the only one that doesn't, annoyingly. But I literally just could not figure out for the life of me what to do with these 2 rooms. If you want to do it, then do it. And join my Discord link down below. Show me what sort of interior you went for. But with that is my downstairs done. And because I'm not using it as an actual base, I don't really care too much about it being fully decorated. But I think you would probably have one room where you'd have like loads of furnaces. And to be fair, there's enough space in here that you could actually do like some sort of super smelter. And in this room, you could probably just decorate as like a sort of lounge living room area. But I'm not going to because I want this video up. And that seems to be a running theme in my recent videos where I just do whatever because I want the video done. Right, and then up here, quite self-explanatory. I think I've already said what this area is for. This is the farming area, so I am in need of getting animals in at some point as well. Oh, might have to put the lighting in first, otherwise I won't be able to plant everything. Yeah, the lighting is like this. Oh, not like that. Like that. And that is all the way around, like so. Just wait until you see what this place looks like with shaders on, because I think it looks quite cool. And I will reveal that at the end of the video, which is hopefully going to be in just like 5 minutes for you. Also, that's the wheat section. And now these 2 sides is where the animals are going to be. So I imagine cows and sheep. But again, you can mess around with it and see what animals you want. Do flowers even spawn in this biome? It doesn't look like they do. I actually do really like the look of trapdoors as sort of shelves, and also the fact that you can actually place things on them like flower pots and such. So for these ones, as extra lighting, I've just dotted those on. And then you've got little barrels for storage for either wheat or, you know, whatever it is to breed the cows and whatever you choose to put in it. And then I'm going to dot some fence posts along the top with the extra sea lanterns, and I've also got sea lanterns here on a chain. And then because this wall just looks a bit flat, I just added a sort of pattern of trapdoors so that it doesn't look as flat. Not exciting, I know, but it will do. And then on this wall and its polar opposite, I've gone with something like that. And I think because of me building a base in creative mode using other bases as inspiration, it has kind of given me little tricks to decorate things. Because these open fence gates were in the cherry base biome that I'm going to build, and they kind of add like supports, and they look quite, I don't know, it's just something. As well as stuff like this. So on this wall, we've got upside down stairs, and then this to add like a little almost like desk sort of thing with, again, fence posts and chains with lanterns. And then on this side, I'm just gonna have to copy the exact same that's on the other side, and then just add extra lanterns on the entrance bit. And that is the second floor complete. Now we move on to the third and final floor, which is basically just the 2 bedrooms just out in the open. So we've got 3 wide bed so that you can have all of your fun. And how I'd like to do my beds, I don't know why, but as kind of like the headboard, I do this. And then each side, there's then barrel, crafting table, and then it's up to you. You can put a flower plot on one and a lantern on the other, or you just do a lantern on each. I don't know. I've just done a lantern on each because of the fact that it's a bigger build. I feel like it needs a lot more lighting, because if you were to build this in an actual world as your base, you're going to need to light this whole area up. And then next to the bed, we've got some shelving with some storage on the very tippity top. And on the opposite side, just like a little windowsill thing. Then here is where I chose to put the desk, because it's looking out at a nice little view of the ocean, see? And to make the chair, we've just got a trapdoor with a slab. The keyboard is just a iron pressure plate, and I actually need a painting, which I forgot. And this is where we have our flowering azalea little plant pot, and these last 2 I've just done the same as downstairs with those and sea lanterns, and again fences on top, and also here next to the window. And to finish off the little bedroom, we've got a black carpet here just in that shape, and I've got to copy this on the other side just like that. Cool. And now we move on to this section here, which is when I use the walls. I don't know why, but I went with just trapdoors on top of them. I think it's because they just looked weird on their own. And then this middle bit is all covered in carpet, just in this outline like so. And then right here, we've got a little storage area. We've got a load of double chests and some more barrels like that. And now final thing, I believe, is just chucking sea lanterns here at the entrance and here. And then I also put sea lantern there, and the same on the other side. I believe that is the whole interior done, although I feel like actually sea lanterns probably need to go there as well. I did also add some lighting out here like that, and I actually forgot that on this middle bit there's also lighting as well. Okay, right, now that is all done, I've only got one thing left to do, and that is some terraforming. And I need to terraform this area so that it kind of all combines into one and hides all of this stuff. Same on this side as well. But actually, I say that, one thing that I've just realized I forgot to do, I haven't actually added the lanterns on the outside. Where did I? Right, so down here, they're all chained. And then I also had a lantern there and there, as well as chained lanterns here. And then I just need a lantern here and here, chained there. Chained there. Yeah, and this area is supposed to be for some sort of statue, but I don't have a creative enough mind to think of a statue. And the last 2, there and there. Cool, now it's all done, and I can start the terraforming. So let me empty this inventory. I'm going to use what I can from what I collected when I emptied this space to then terraform this mountainside. I don't really know how one does that. Because to make it look natural, I'm going to have to try and copy the color pattern that they did. It's so awkward going up, going down. Terraforming going upwards is quite easy, but going down is kind of awkward. So I reckon if I just kind of follow the shape that I want the terraform to be, I can then just do the outside. Okay, so all of that's covered, and now I just need to build this up to make it look more natural and connect to the floor. I'm hoping a time lapse will work for this because I'm not saying anything. Alright, so the terraforming is done. I think it looks alright. I'm not fully happy with like this side. I think that's too smooth. But for the most part, I think it looks okay. I've added it all on the top and on this side as well. I've kind of forgotten to incorporate the different colors and things. But if you look at a picture like I've got on the screen right now, it's like in the walls. But there are bits that are left out. So like the bits in the middle there and there actually aren't in the walls. So I've kind of tried to copy that as best I could. But I think it looks okay. And it looks really cool with shaders on, which I think it's now time for. So if I turn on shaders, why is it all misty? I did not know my shaders did this, but it actually kind of looks cooler. Oh, yeah, the mistiness makes it look cooler. And then you head in, and you've got the caves. All of this is nicely lit up. You've got your bedrooms, and you've got a little view out of each side. That's this build complete. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next biome. Subscribe. As I said during the video when I made this beast behind me, I want to build a base for every single biome that's in the game. Badlands was the first one because, well, alphabetical, begins with B, and it was quite a big build. So I figured I might as well do it, you know, for its own video. But going in alphabetical order, the next base is actually going to be the beach biome. Now, annoyingly, I decided for this one to build a beach house, like a modernized beach house, which is rather large. And it's going to take a lot of blocks to build. But let me quickly explain how I'm going to do this rather than doing one video per build, because then I feel like that's just going to be long. I'm going to try and do 3 to 5 builds per video in this series, just so that I can kind of get through them without boring people on this series. Now, items for this beach house are as follows. In total, there's actually only about 18,000 items, so it's not actually one of my biggest builds, but it does look quite cool. I am in need of 22 stacks of quartz bricks, 21 stacks of quartz blocks, 15 stacks of polished andesite, and I need a load of deep slate stuff, a load of sea lanterns for lighting, normal glass, some diorite andesite walls, and other decoration blocks like trapdoors, lanterns, and also some end rods, which I haven't had to gather before. So I think this is where I'm going to build this beach house. There were beaches near my base, but I've purposefully gone much further away. I've gone like 5,000 blocks. And the reason for this is because once I've built all these bases, I want you guys to pick which is going to be my new base. But to start off with, for this one, I'm going to need to flatten this ground because I need a lot of space. So this base was actually created by this guy, Kaizen87. Now, I did not download his Patreon and pay for it. Instead, I used these pictures to figure out how to build this, which is why it took me a while. I also decided to change the design of the outside. I didn't personally like using full just stone bricks or andesite or anything as the build, so that's where all of the quartz has come into play. So I've used quartz and deep slate to make it like a black and white type of build instead, and it just makes it look a little bit more modern. But the layout of the house and The interior I pretty much copied because I'm not the best when it comes to interior, so I figured I might as well try and copy his one. The link to this Planet Minecraft page will be in the description below if any of you guys did want to support his Patreon. I think it's a Patreon or whatever it is. If you did want to support that, then go ahead and support that to download the build. But I personally do not have the money currently, so I just use the pictures to figure it out. Other than it looking like kind of a weird shape, I actually did like how this house turned out. Like when it's all complete and the interior is full, it does feel quite homely and quite cool. The back part of the house, however, I did have to wing it, so I've put like a downstairs pool as well as just literally just like a random hallway out the back, simply because I don't know what was there because they don't show in the pictures. I also had to wing the stairs up and all that sort of stuff. Basically anything that I couldn't see, I had to make it up as I went along. But I just wanted to make sure that I did not get the credit for this build because I did not come up with it, as is the case with a lot of these builds. So a lot of the builds for each of the biomes were originally someone else's design, and I have either changed some bits to make it like fit better in my opinion, or I've copied it exact. So most of them are someone else's design, a few of them are my own. Some of them had tutorials. If they had tutorials, I will link them below. Like this one doesn't, so I'm going to link the actual, just like where the pictures are down below instead, which meant I had to figure it out just from pictures. So even though I didn't design it, I still think it's quite cool of me and quite good of me to be able to figure out how to build the build just from some angles and pictures, because I can't see everything, which means it's partly my own design as well as being someone else's, because I had to figure some other stuff out or make it up. But all in all, I think this beach house is quite good. Let me know what you think of the beach house down in the comment section below. And that is the beach house done. It kind of looks a little less impressive without shaders on, I think, but we've got like a nice little barbecuing type area here, which I forgot to put the food on, but oh well. We've got a little hot tub bit here with a infinity pool, which also has glass for you to look at squid. A little dining area where people are apparently eating raw meat. A nice kitchen, a little kitchenette area, which, yeah, it's just a kitchen. Little living area with multiple seating and a TV that plays nothing. And then it's only 2 bedrooms. This one's supposed to have armor stands, but I've forgotten to bring the armor stands because for some reason they didn't show up on the schematic. So, and then the bedroom that has its own balcony and a hot tub. And then over here we've got the second bedroom, which is a bit smaller. They've both got their own desks with laptops. And this one's got a nice little campfire and another little relaxation pool bit, because everyone knows that rich people have pools everywhere in the house, don't they? But yeah, I think it I think it looks all right. And then with shaders on, I think it looks a little bit cooler. I think in the initial pictures he uses stone brick for everything, which I did build it like that initially, but I just didn't like the look of it. I don't know what shaders he used for his pictures and for his build, but I didn't really like it, which is why I changed it to quartz and deep slate instead, because everyone knows, if you're new here, I love deep slate. But yeah, it's a cool little giant house, I think. So that's option number 1 for me to move into. And now I've got to travel all the way back home so that I can get all of the items for my birch house. So this is actually all I need for the birch house. So this birch house I found when I literally just Google searched birch biome bases or something like that. And the tutorial is linked below. It was from this guy. I decided on a smaller base for this one. 2 reasons. One, because I had planned to try and make it next to a village, which I actually got lucky. The first birch biome I actually looked for was right next to a village, because it means that if this one happens to be picked, I can expand the village and make it like a giant sort of village base. But also because I wanted to mix in some smaller bases into these videos rather than just it all being mega bases. I know mega bases would be cooler to watch and maybe, you know, and more impressive, but it's a lot more effort on my part, which I can't be asked to do, to be honest with you. So the birch base is quite a small base, but it's nice and quaint and cute, if I dare say. But yeah, let me know what you think of this birch base down below, and if it's even in the running, because I'm not sure if it is because it's so small, but I can kind of see it being one of those mega bases that is a lot of small bases dotted around to create one large one, if you know what I mean. And now I'm also going to collect the items for the cherry and dark biome. Now the thing is, the cherry one actually isn't as many items as I thought it was. I thought it was way more than this. The dark forest base I decided to build is 11,000 blocks worth. I've got a lot of deep slate to collect for that. And then the cherry one isn't as bad with only 5,000 items, 5,900 items, but it is a lot of cherry slabs. So epic montage time of me collecting these materials. And then we move on to the cherry base. So I flew another 100 odd blocks in the nether to go as far away as possible to find a cherry biome. Annoyingly, it's a very small cherry biome, but I can expand it by just planting a load of cherry trees around. So that's not really a big deal. But again, for this one, I also had to follow a tutorial because there was no way I was figuring out how to build this just from looking at pictures. And building this in creative mode to get the schematic, my god, took so long. Japanese style houses are so much more confusing than I thought they were going to be. They look cool, but they also look relatively easy to make. You'd think you just kind of curve up the corners and that's it. But there's so many slabs and intricate little details to go into it that I never even realized. So that goal for the tutorial. Shout out to this guy. I'm saying this guy, by the way, because I currently don't have the video up, so I can't remember who actually built it, but the links will be in the description, and I'm sure I would put screenshots on the screen. But yeah, this took ages in creative, and actually it took 4 or 5 hours, or actually less than that, I think 4 hours in survival to make. It actually didn't take that long, so you need a schematic for this. All the schematics and stuff I'll also put in like a media file folder in the description as well. So for this base, I'm not entirely sure what I would do if it was picked. I mean, it'd probably have to be another village sort of situation where I build a village around it, but it's not really a giant mega base, you know? But it does look, again, it looks quite cool, and it looks cool with shaders on. So I don't know. Let me know what you think below. I think it looks cool, and it's a pain in the ass to build, but I think it looks good. A little bit too symmetrical for my taste though, I think. And now we move on to the dark forest biome base. Now this one did not have a tutorial. I found a video of, I'm assuming the guy who built the base. He just kind of did like a cinematic style video with shaders and took you on like a walk around the base itself. And so from following his walk around, just happened to pause it every now and then, I had to try and build this. And I think I did an alright job. But it was quite a hassle to do. So if I throw the video on screen real quick, you'll see what I mean about it kind of being a pain in the ass. So I would have to pause it here on my second monitor and then try and figure out how many blocks up it is, what blocks go where, and how wide it is, all of that sort of stuff, just from pausing and then skipping forward to an interior part or an aerial shot or something and figuring it out that way. And I think this one took me a while as well, not because it's complex, but just because of having to do that. But I think this is quite a cool base. I'm not entirely sure how practical it would be in an actual survival world, but because it is a castle and it is quite a large area of a build, you can quite easily do like a basement type storage area if you still want a storage system, and you can make it fit in with the rest of the theme. Quite dark and dingy sort of look. I don't know, I can see that happening. And again, I think it's just going to be another village sort of situation where you dot houses around that are a similar aspect and maybe wall off the big area. Only time will tell. If you guys pick this, then I'll figure that out when I get to it. But for now, I think it's quite a cool base, and you know me, I like my deep slate, so and this base is literally all deep slate pretty much. So let me know, again, in the comments below what you think of this one. And now we move on to the fifth and final base of the video, and that is my desert biome base. Now for this one, I did use a small, like 5-minute tutorial to make sure I got the entrance to Luke Skywalker's house correct. But the rest of it, again, was following, I think, just screenshots. I can't remember at the moment, to be honest with you. If there is a video, I'll link that below, but I'm pretty sure I just followed screenshots for the interior bit. And I really liked how this actually turned out. It doesn't really look too much like his actual home, obviously, like Luke's home, because I couldn't be bothered. I did look at actual pictures and screenshots from the film, and I couldn't be bothered to make it exact. So I kind of built it more to fit survival. And I think this is quite a good base for like a multiplayer survival, because there are 2 bedrooms. So for my survival, if I was to move to this one, again, I don't think it's that practical, but it does have a similar situation to the Dark Forest base, where you can just build, you know, a storage underneath as like a sort of basement. On the one wall where there's no room in that one, I could maybe build a storage into there, make that a piston door or something. I don't know. I think this is more a base that was cool to make and it looks cool in the game, but maybe not one to actually move into. But that's up to you guys. So you all need to pick your favorite out of these 5, and that will then move forward to the next round. So as with the last ones, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this base. I'm intrigued to see what you think. Oh, now that all of those bases are done, all I've got to do is go back through here, and I mean, it doesn't really make a difference really, because the portals are still going to be on the overworld side, but I want to destroy all these portals so that I don't have an easy way of getting to all of them, seeing as my plan is to ditch my current base and choose one of these. If I have all of these portals in the Nether, it's going to be quite easy for me to just, well, go back home. But when it does come down to it, I want to fly there with a bunch of rockets, and then I'll ditch all those rockets and lava and stuff, and I can start again. So let me just quickly destroy all of these portals like this real quick. So now all I ask of you is to vote from each of these 5 bases and let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite, and also subscribe.